So I think it's almost 7:10. So I think we should start now. So welcome all. So welcome all to AWS office, and I'm Alex. I'm the user group leader of AWS User Group Hong Kong. So tonight we have two co-hosts. One is free actually. KSUG. HKCDA, actually Stanfield is the sponsor of tonight. So the topic tonight is Kubernetes Night. So we, with the aid of Leonardo, so we have this kind of more special topics. Indeed, in recent months, I don't want to tell except AI. So it's good to have something not just AI tonight. So I will very quickly to introduce our user group. So we are not quite we are all volunteers from AWS. Although you are sitting in the AWS office, I can see so many new faces here because I think usually we attract our original audience, but this time because we have other co-hosts, so that's why it might be your first time to join our user group meetup. So we are actually we four guys. I'm Alex, and we have Richard. And we have Fred, and Gabriel is out of time today. So we actually some passionate AWS users, and of course AWS supported us with this venue. And tonight we also have pizza and drinks, also sponsored by AWS and Stanfield. So our objective is very simple. It's just to use the network of AWS users to gather developers, gather AWS users together to have more synergy and to have more discussion. So if it's your first time to the user group, feel free to know everyone here, and then we hope that in Hong Kong we can bring more interesting activities and events. So I think that's all my introduction of user group. I will pass to our co-organizer.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, let me change it to my presentation. Okay, let me little bit introduce another two organizations in here. And firstly is KSUG. KSUG is It's founded by one of the very super the people I just call Hong Sang, and then he has many certifications, and he hosted the many KSUG in different regions. It's not in Hong Kong, especially in Singapore and Australia. And then I'm the chapter in Hong Kong, the organizer, and because it's many of the other events about here. But what I want to share with you is if you get to join their membership, always they have a special discount for different certification. Yeah, this is one of them. And then also some Kubernetes and then other things. So if you're interested, you can scan the course in here later on to get your offer. Yeah, there's many things over there. So this is starting from Kubernetes, and then it is not easy to set up a Kubernetes the community. So that's why it is good to start and then to learn with each other. As I remember, the one page talking about how many people in their group. This is also their group, and then they set up something AWS related to AWS. I was saying, I don't know. I just when I received this one, I just know he set up another two different scope over there. Okay, so that's why if you interested that the Kubernetes and then interested for the certification, and then it is the good way. And then later on we have a speaker talking about the training also, and then some of the course, something like that. Okay. Another one is my one. Yeah. Cloud Developer Association. It is I found this association in Hong Kong, and it is certified that the society in Hong Kong. And then the main objective is connect with different people, like the developers, technologies, vendors, business, and so. And then that connect all the cloud, different vendor, and all things together. Yeah, this is our name. And then certified the society. We have the name. You can check on the police station. Why are we set up this the association? Because sometimes when you're talking to outside, you need some the legal identity. Yeah, so that's why this is very important to host the event. So I set up this, and then also I can open that I'm the chairperson in the society, and then we have a Martin, and then we have another Jackie Chen, not that one, not that Jackie Chen, another Jackie Chen from OT. Yeah, he's also an organizer of the war. Yeah, somebody know that. Yeah, so that's why we also looking for volunteers to contribute. And I was like, little bit I forget to tell. This is also the volunteer. Yeah. This is, we already understand we are not non-profit society. Yeah, all of us is just volunteer in here. And then we're still seeking many people when the sponsors and all those things. And then this is not our first event, and then we have, before we host another event over there. Yeah, very special, the event in last year. Both of them is last year anyway. Yeah. I'm interesting. Maybe I very famous on these pictures. All those guys over there. Do you know what they mean? Anybody know what they mean? The people, including AWS, Mongo, Google, Huawei, Microsoft. They user group together. This connect with different cloud vendors. Sometimes you will go to the single vendor event, and then maybe cannot know each other, but the associations want to connect different the brand name and different the user. So that's why here. And then our LinkedIn and WhatsApp group over there. If you're interested, then you can scan and then join us. I think we hope that we can have more events later on, starting from here. Okay, this is the little bit introduction about our things. I want to pass my first because are you ready? Because they just arrived in here, I'm not sure what they where they are. Yeah. And I forgot when I say please tonight that the runtime is I want to include different layer of the Kubernetes, include from learning, from vendors, and then from the company. There's different people how they use and then the Kubernetes. Hold on. Simon 頭先翻嗰個頭出嚟，唔係錯咗。你可唔可以借嗰個？係借。唔係，佢呢個唔係好得。係啊，好多啱啱都用自己嗰嚿。咩啊？我都用自己嗰嚿嘅。係啊，我呢個自己係呢個。係啊。Yeah. Okay. I pass the mic.
Hi, good evening. Hi, I'm Zhen Yin from Sky. First of all, let me talk about my company. In our Sky, we have two products. One is Phonics and one is Off-Gear. Phonics is for helping our clients to extract some data using some AI model to form a structured data from maybe some documents or receipt, etc. And off here is for people who want to do user authentication or user management, something like that, because we all know implement Google login, Facebook login, that stuff is very complicated and take a lot of time. So if you are interested, you can try to find Ben or May to talk about more on our products to let us know how to help you. Also, we also do servicing. So if you have some ideas but you need some developers to help you to implement that, you can also find us. So some fun facts about me. I joined Sky since 2016, like 10 years ago. This is my grad job, so I don't have any other work experience besides in our Sky. And my very first reason to join Sky because it literally just 10 minutes from my home, so I can literally walk to my office. But unfortunately, after I joined our Sky full time about 1 month, and they decided to move to Mexico. So I need to take another 1 hour MTR. And I also a volunteer in a dog shelter and also a force-free dog trainer. I'm getting certified in with Victoria's Steelwear Academy. So if you want to, if you have some dog behavior related problems, you can also find me. Of course, I also train IT dog. Some of our juniors in our company are trained by me. IT dog. So today I want to share about a internal tools, a project I do recently. It's called Skyrocket. And it is internal tool to help our colleagues to help deploy their five-coded application to a Kubernetes cluster. So some background, as we all know now, like literally all people can use AI agent to develop their own software. And some of our PMs, sales, and designer also start involved in the development in current projects or internal tools. They literally use Cursor or Copilot to change the code base and then submit a PR for our other senior developer to review and get merged. And so we build some coding agent harness to help them to guide the agent to develop to write within a good quality code. However, the deployment part is very hard. And we don't want to grant some credential for AI agent to do the deployment. So we need a way to help them to bridge their implementation and have a way to deploy or preview their work on a really accessible way. Like we can literally use a URL to preview their work, so that our senior developers don't need to review 1,000 lines of code generated by AI agent, which we don't want to. And besides that, cloud hosting is very expensive. So we also have a cycle to want to reduce the cost of our cloud hosting. And because coding agent reduce some of our senior developers' work, so we have a chance to spare some time to build such internal tools to help other colleagues to improve their productivity. So before this project, PMs and designers, our colleagues have two different options to try to deploy their application. One is ask for other developers to help, which is not scalable because they still have to do their own work, right? And we pick another choice, which is Fire.io, but it's still costing money. So, also, if you use Fire.io, you still need to have a certain amount of technical knowledge to do so. So that's why we want to build a tools to encourage creativity and ideas to want to eliminate the barrier of deploy your own application to cloud to let other people to access. As I mentioned before, the other side goal is try to reduce the hosting cost. Fun fact about that is actually our cloud hosting cost is similar to our actual office rental. So it's quite a lot of money. And other target for this project is try to restrict the site access to only authorized user only. That is only within our company the user can access. Because previously some of our staging sites or development sites is coded by some search engines. So we want to also solve this problem in this, we want to have this chance to also solve this problem. So before I talk more about, you can try to go to this website, just be-rich.outsky.dev. Yeah. Meanwhile, this website only have one button. Yes, and it shows 12 works. If you know what it is, you know what it is. So if you want to be rich, you can try to go to this website and get those works. I think you can't go that because that is the purpose of us to set up this cluster. We want to protect our site to only authorized user. So if you can, tell me and I can file a bug report to Tailscale. So we have 3 big milestones in this project. One is set up a self-host Kubernetes cluster, which actually we are using K3s, and all the whole cluster is live inside a Tailscale so that we can control which users can access the network on the network level. Also, we want to develop a internal development tool, which is my project last 2 weeks. And here, another fun fact, actually our cluster do not have any authorization control. So if you can access that, you can actually destroy the whole cluster without any restrictions. But the prerequisite is you can first access with Tailscale, and you also need to have the machine level access. Our cluster set actually is quite simple. We bought some bare metals in this machine to set up as our working agent, and then we on Google. I don't know if I can mention that right here. To set up a control plane machine, because I asked my colleagues why he designed that way. He said because we don't want the control plane node to be fragile. So if something happens on the agent node, we can always add some more node to that very easily. But if the control plane is crashed, then we will have a very harsh time to recover it. So we decided to have this setup, which is all the working agent node is in our Nightingale office, and then we have our control plane node on GCP. And then all our colleagues in our office can always connect with Tailscale and then access to the cluster. So they can, if they are not physically in the office, they can always be virtually connect to our office. So let me just talk about more on this Skywalker project. This project actually is consists of a few parts. first of all, we build a API server to receive the request, and then user can. We also build a CLI for the user to use. The CLI we try to pack the source code and then send to our customer, and we use build kit to build the Docker image for them, and then we send the image to our self-host container registry, which is also in the K3s cluster. After that, the API server will try to generate a Helm chart on fly, depends on their application configuration, and then apply the Helm chart to the Kubernetes with a customized service account. Also, we provide, because most of our project requires Redis, object storage, and a database. So we also set up these 3 services for our colleagues to use, which is also will be auto provision if they use our Skyrocket CLI. I can say actually the very first milestone of this is me and our CTO Rick. Actually, is very simple. We just want to help our colleagues to host a static web or single page web in the cluster. However, one of our PM want to try to deploy, because I mentioned PM already involved in the current project development, and for that project, the PM also will act as the sole developer. So he wants to try to use Skyrocket to deploy this client project. So he requested many features, which I didn't expect to do within the last 2 weeks. First of all, we now support the in-cluster image view. The first version of Skyrocket actually require user to install Docker in their machine themselves, because the first version is build the Docker image in their machine itself in the cluster. And then those services like the PostgreDB, Redis, and object storage also added because of that project did that. Also, we added secret management and multiple service apps and some pre-deployed tasks, which actually is just modeled as a Helm chart pre-install or pre-upgrade hook job to implement. And now it's very different from our original goal, which is just host a static page web. Now we can host a rather complex project. You can have a single page front end with a back end, also with a job queue and workers in one setup. So I can do a demo now. So we all love a to-do app. So here I have a very simple to-do app, and now it's hosted on my local host. For this part, Skyrocket can't help our colleagues because that is your application logic. So you first of all, you need to have a application ready before you try to deploy your application. And then we can start the clock section, and I have a cheat sheet. Okay. Literally can just point the AI agent to Skyrocket doc site and ask him to create a configuration to deploy this project. So we can wait a little bit. Okay, what I'm going to do next is just ask him to deploy for me. Okay, hit deploy. So you see, we got an actual URL can access by other colleagues, or you want to share with the clients, you can share this URL. But unfortunately, you guys can go to this website. So literally that simple. You just paste the documentation site and ask AI to help deploy for you. Okay, thank you. The flow actually is the demo flow to paste a documentation site and deploy actually is come from my colleagues. One day in Slack he posted a message said that because he has some spare quota of course, so he tried to deploy one internal tools we use in our Sky to with Skywalker. And I just asked him, how can you deploy that? And he just asked AI to read the documentation and write the configuration and then deploy. So originally, in our milestone, we want to build a MCP for Skywalker so that other people can really do use an agent to deploy their application. But now, if doing retrospective, I think actually this work as well. Just paste the documentation and then ask the AI agent to execute the deploy command for you. So quite interesting. And also in our company, this is our timeline application, which you can't see anything because I asked the content. It is like a timeline for which developer is doing which project in which day. We started to migrate some internal tools like that to our cluster and deploy with Skywalker. So to me personally, I feel quite happy to see other colleagues to really can enjoy the benefit of the software I develop. So quite interesting project. Okay, that's it for my share. Do you have any questions? Hi.
How is it different when writing is new for AI? You just follow your instructions and do the deployment?
Because you can do so, but because we want to restrict the first of all, the AI do not have a do not have a deploy credential on the cluster, so it can do some destroy stuff on the cluster. Second of all, because actually, I mentioned before, it generates a Helm chart on fly. We predefine some resources limitation for each project and some configuration on the ingress for each project. So if we write a schemes, I think we can also achieve that. But the main point is we don't want the AI agent to have a custom credential to do anything it wants. So we still want to have a traditional CLI way to restrict what action it can do, what action it can't do. You're welcome.
So I have a question. Since you said you guys do certain things, the PM, the sales, and using the Skywalker to do some flight coding. So now it's container in the tail-scale network. So how do they really want it?
Actually, this is the ongoing another milestone we ongoing doing. We will sell a public accessible node to dig into the tail-scale, which technically I don't know how it can do that, but my colleagues said it can do so. We will have another domain if the project really want to be publicly accessible. We can access through that machine or that domain.
Thank you.
How would you target the environment for this product? Say, right now I see your demonstration as a POC build that can be deployed to some sort of public or partially public accessible endpoint. But if I want to move Skyrocket to a production network, then what I need to consider is the version, maybe a GitHub or a Git integration and other stuff. So how would you target or suit Skyrocket as a POC platform, or it is going to be something that is partial, right?
I would say it's still a POC, and I can also say actually it's production ready because literally some of our internal tools is already using Skyrocket to deploy. And for versioning, because actually it is using Handchart to deploy underlying, so if something really bad happen, we can always ask a developer to do a rollback deployment for our PMs or designers. And that is a very good question, and I can consider to add a rollback operation in Skyrocket. That is achievable. Hi.
Hi. I'm actually quite a novice in all of this. I started programming maybe only a month ago. So I don't really know much section that goes on with cloud-based engineering at all. But just, from my understanding of deployment, why would you consider using a probabilistic model to deploy something that you have a fixed on? Like, is there something that I don't know about cloud engineering or deployment? Because my understanding is you're essentially taking in the client's API, whether it's a different application or different services, and that simply variation causes you to have variations in infrastructure. Filtering to maximize computation. I'll just switch it. No cloud engineering.
It's okay. That's why we try to not build skills for it. We want to firstly restrict what we can do with the deployment. Just like we can actually in Skyrocket you can only create a deployment service and ingress on the cluster. So if we the LM part is actually just help our colleagues to write the configuration to do the deployment. Actually, you can write the configuration by yourself and deploy it with by yourself using command line. So we're not that directly using a LM model to help our colleagues to do the deployment.
So would you say that the typical given watch language process would be a very routine methodology when you follow that? If it's routine, then you probably would be a probabilistic model. So when you just write an application,
I get your question right. To be honest, if we want to really do a very serious deployment, we need to ask for our PMs or other non-technical staff should ask for the help from our developers. At least if they really try to generate the deployment configuration by themselves, they at least need to find someone who know what actually the configuration to review once and try to do the deploy.
So it actually set up quite configurations.
Yeah.
That's the main.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't you show the documentation page? There's some like, then you can explain like actually there's a design behind what they can do with it.
It is too small.
Yeah.
Too small. If you have some experience with using Docker, and you will find that actually is somehow similar to a Docker Compose. It is quite a coincidence because I didn't think that beforehand. The first version actually just have the name attribute in this configuration, but as I try to add more feature to that, I found that actually it not very similar to a Docker Compose file. So basically, you can just only define the project name, the service underneath, which you can only define the name of the service, which port your container are using. Is it public accessible? In this context, public accessible means I will generate an ingress for you, not for other public to access. And also you can specify some your specific Docker file or context if you want. So given this configuration, first is rather simple, and it hides a lot of complexity of creating a Kubernetes configuration. So the main part of this project is try to minimize the effort for our colleagues to deploy their application to Kubernetes. So that's why we have this configuration to design that simple and have a command line program to deploy.
Any questions?
No.
And then we should thank you for this great teaching. And then good questions also. Because we change it to be, you can continue your presentation first. Yeah. Yeah. Because Alex is going to pick up our pizza right now. So we changed it to be our schedule. Yeah, you can say, okay, I pass it to you, Bill.
Thank you. So hello, I'm Bill. Okay. I hope we have met before. Yeah. So I've been working in multiple vendors. Perhaps we see in different chances, and it's a great chance that Leonardo invite me to share a bit on something I'm focusing on in these years, security. Okay. So I will try to make it less boring. Okay. Not to try to make you sleep before the pizza's coming. Okay. So what about security? Okay, it's really a thing. Okay, when we are doing cloud native applications, cloud deployment, and even more relevant in AI. Okay. So that's something about me. I was working in a very traditional company, and then I go to a virtualization company, then I go to a competitor of AWS, okay, then I go to Palo Network to focus on DevOps stuff, cloud security stuff, some of those, okay. Now I'm in Vim, okay. So Vim is a backup vendor. But why I joined Vim? Because that's another story. But Vim actually buy a data and AI security company, okay, which honestly I think is rare for Hong Kong to have a data and AI security company landing here. So that's why I joined Vim, okay. And I did take some shots before, okay, I did, okay, but I didn't do it right now. Okay. My latest start is this one. Certified AI security professional, I recommend it. Okay, and not too cheap. Okay, so yeah, I know today's topic is more open. Okay, if you want to read it by yourself, okay, scan that. If you want to do the lab by yourself, scan the GitHub. Okay, you don't need to listen to me naturally. Okay, yeah, you can do it by yourself. Prepare a bit. That may be bug. Okay. The stuff right there is done by white code, okay? So I will refine a bit, okay? But that may be bugs, okay? If that doesn't work, I will fix it, okay? Okay. So why, okay? Why running AI and stuff on Kubernetes? Okay, I try to make everything run okay? AI, Kubernetes, and security. So you can see the development trend of the Kubernetes, okay? I think when it is some years ago, Kubernetes is all talking about share nothing architecture. Okay, it's about immutable. Okay, and nothing is stable on Kubernetes. Okay, but in the latest release, okay, 1.36, okay, every features, okay, is quite focusing on stateful applications. Okay, including the vertical scaling capability. And previously, Kubernetes can horizontal scale the container, right? Now they scale up. Why do you have to scale up your container? Because the fact is, more and more people is putting stateful applications running on Kubernetes, including AI. AI is a completely stateful thing, okay? You cannot do a songless, you can do stateless AI. There's no stateless AI. AI is all about memories, all about state. And you can see that's a trend. This report, I think, is from Dynatrace. They do like Kubernetes state of Kubernetes every year. And and the fact is more and more databases running Kubernetes. Not just Kubernetes. Okay. Actually, VM, the virtual machine today run on Kubernetes also. Okay. So when I was in VMware, okay, VMware is on the base. Kubernetes is on top, okay? But now, it's upside down, okay? Like OpenShift, like there's CodeWork, okay? They're using a Kubernetes management platform to manage a VM, okay? So that's kind of funny, okay? So I think I did have a discussion with my friend before, okay? So I heard about cloud cost is expensive, right? So I'm thinking, okay, can we build a Kubernetes and then we build VM inside the Kubernetes to save some cloud cost? Okay, I didn't evaluate, but it is highly possible, I think. Okay. But anyway, okay, this is some off-topic thing. Okay. So what AI workloads are actually running on Kubernetes natively is max of stuff. Okay. Do you have of VLLM? Do you? Okay. Olamas? Do you? Okay. So those are a few category of things. VLLM is how you are hosting expressly LLM on OpenShift on Kubernetes effectively, efficiently. Okay. You can also put Olama on the Kubernetes, but Olama is for testing. Okay. If you are playing with Olama, okay, one section, one developer, is okay. But if you have multiple people posting, sharing the LLM, it doesn't scale. The Olama doesn't scale at all. And the stable workloads also include, some new type of database, vector database, okay, Memphis, okay, and Cobra, okay, and MongoDB, Elastic, and Postgres also have their version of vector database. Vector database is the key database that we need to store the invariants. It's not just for RAG, okay? Vector database is there before RAG, well before RAG, okay? But those are some workloads that we run on Kubernetes, and it's stable, okay? And let me, okay, do a commercial advertisement right now, okay? So we have a custom which can back up any stable thing on your Kubernetes and restore it in any Kubernetes distro, okay? So skip X, okay? Okay, so why we run the AI on Kubernetes? Elasticity, okay, simplicity, freedom of choice, of course. The last one, security. Okay, so this is a bit strange. Okay, but for many customers today, they are trying to host the AI more close to their crown jewel data, which is mostly for enterprise, may not be on cloud. Okay? So that is why a lot of people is exploring, building their own AI stack, AI applications as close as their data as possible. So with Kubernetes, you can have this freedom of choice. Yeah, they can put this Kubernetes in an air-gapped environment to run AI, possible. Okay, and yeah, that's a fact. Okay. So this is a 30,000 feet architecture. Okay, for how we are running like an application on Kubernetes. Okay, so yeah, that's a thing called KServe, which would manage the AI infra. Okay, but I think it's optional. Okay, if you start with playing with simple stuff, you could just put up an AI runtime and then try to inference it. Okay, anyone doing AI training, for their company right here, anyone is training there. You are, okay? Okay, we have a one section later, okay? But I think most of us, we use the AI, okay? We inference it, okay? So that's why maybe you just need like a VLM that's well enough, okay, for you to host these applications. You need an AI gateway, okay? Why? Okay. A few reasons, because I think because of the mental fact, Hong Kong is in a geopolitical awkward position. We don't know whether we can reach out some LLM services, okay, tomorrow. Yeah, maybe it will be chopped like another week later, okay. Or even I'm running a LLM model in my own infra, maybe I can switch, okay, the models when something new is coming in, okay, like the Gamma 4. The Gamma 4 is just released a week ago, okay, super powerful, yeah, that may replace, your DeepSeek in your environment, yeah. So an AI gateway, an API or MCU gateway like this, like LLM, it is an additional layer sitting on top or in front of the LLM model that you want to connect with, such that you can control a few things. The token usage. You can monitor the token usage, you can monitor the latency, you can also place security measures on those prompts that are going through into your app. So you could also use it as like a reward, so you can switch to other models without changing applications. So this is a very generic logical architecture that you can build. So why security first? Okay, that's my core day-to-day talks with my customer. So 9 seconds. What can you do in 9 seconds? I cannot even go to the washroom. But around end of April, that's a company called OS, which is a car rental SaaS startup in the US. They have been eliminated from the internet in 9 seconds. Why? Because the cloud AI agent has wiped out the database and the database backup, and it has made false or mock up all the log in their environment. So no one actually knows what it has done, but the whole services have been wiped out for weeks. So this is actually happening. Have you heard about Google's Cloud's Mythos, MYTHOS Mythos? Yeah, Mythos is a powerful LLM model which could find out like new vulnerabilities in your environment and develop the POC applications, not proof of concept that for products, but proof of concept for vulnerability and hacking it, okay? So that is to say, okay, your environment, if you don't know about the vulnerability, if you are not prepared for this kind of breakout, okay, then you are prepared to go say bye-bye with your business, okay? So that's just another like news from my ex-company. 39 seconds is all that needed if your data is properly configured to expose to the internet. Then within 39 seconds, okay, some AI agent in this internet will get your data, copy it away, yeah, and that's how fast, okay, that's the data loss could be happening, yeah, okay. So actually that's why when I heard about the previous speakers, okay, I actually want to see if there's any chance that I can give them consulting services on the security thing, yeah. Free of charge, okay, we can talk about this, okay. But this is the fact, okay. It is not about how well, you are trained in AI. It's not about how big your company is. Summer, okay. This news is even more funny, okay. So I think 2 months ago, this lady is trying to use OpenClaw, okay. And yeah, without any surprise, okay, right now is her inbox completely. But the funny thing is her background. She comes from DeepMind. Who don't know DeepMind? Okay? DeepMind is the foundry of AI. Everything comes from there. So anyone is comfortable to say your AI skills is better than Summer, and it's not me. Okay, I don't. Okay. It's her company thing. It's huge. It's massive. But the problem is that thing still happen. Okay, AI agent could go rogue. Okay, AI hallucination is not quite a big thing. Okay, it has no actionable permissions. Okay, but when agents is inbound, okay, now we have to get security in day 1, day 0, to ensure we can control what we can. So when to start with, okay, just disregard anything about AI. Talk about Kubernetes first. Kubernetes, okay, you have Kubernetes, the K3S, K0S, Tansu, okay, vanilla Kubernetes anyway, okay. There's a lot of factors you need to handle, okay. CNI, vulnerabilities, okay, isolations. How you can start with, okay? Yeah, you can go to the CNCF, okay, to browse, okay, any tools that will help. Unfortunately, all the tools under this barrier, they actually help in different places, okay? Some will help in helping you to build a better container images. Some helping you to build a better CNI, okay? So I think it's better to analysis in this way. Operation-wise, okay? DevSecOps is something we need, okay? Even though we are using like white coding, okay, but a lot of concept in DevSecOps is mandatory. You need to know about what kind of building material you're using in your applications. That has to be checked by SCA, okay? The software composition analysis, okay? Or, okay, we call it software building of material body, okay? Then code scanning, okay? Even though you are using the right building blocks, okay, if you are not building these building blocks in the right approaches, you are exposed to, risks also. So we need code scanning, we call it SAST, okay? And after you're building these images, okay, you will package it, the stuff into a container images or application images. You have to scan it, okay? That may also include vulnerabilities due to base images. And that's why, okay, even though we are not implementing it, even though maybe we are using a white coding or we are using like LLM model to help us to do this kind of thing, at least you need to include these kind of steps, okay, to ensure your applications running will be more secure. So tool-wise, okay, what tools can do this, okay, and what tools can protect? I should say, what tools okay, can be used on top of the stuff above, okay, to protect your runtime. Yeah, for Kubernetes, there's something called KSPM. Okay, it's more focusing on configuration management, how well you are configuring your Kubernetes. Okay, XDR. Okay, it is more focusing on runtime. Whether your container is running as expected, whether your Kubernetes node is running as expected, okay, XDR is the thing. So static risk, runtime risk, okay, we both have to handle this, okay, we both have to be considered, okay. And how complex it will look like, okay. So if you want to handle static risk first, okay, I think you have to go for the KSPM, for every code generated from white coding or LLM, please do scan it with the IAC security tools or the SAFT, the code scanning tools, okay? Because we don't know what code, okay, and what practice, okay, these are cloud cloak or open cloak that I use usually, okay, is going out. So I'm the gatekeeper. I will check what did they write. Okay? Did they embed like a password inside? Okay. Did they use an obsolete library? Did they use some miscellaneous library? Okay. That's something we need to do even we are using white coding. Okay. And for runtime, this is more important. Okay. As mentioned. Now, okay, AI security. Why it is difficult? Because traditionally, when we are writing code, okay, it is a bunch of if-else, okay. It's quite deterministic, okay. We know, okay, if they do this, okay, something won't go wrong, okay. But if our application is hosting an LLM model, maybe it's inside your Kubernetes, okay, AI is all about probability, okay. The same prompt, okay, doesn't get the same output, okay, at all, okay. At least I didn't see, okay, an LLM return me the same reply with the same prompt, okay. And that's why we need a lot of SafeNet in the runtime. XDR, okay, CWP stuff, okay, they are monitoring unexpected or abnormal behavior in the runtime, such that even though your LLM model or even though your AI agent go rogue, okay, they could sense, they could see this kind of behavior problem, okay? But can they see it within 9 seconds, okay? Well, that's a problem that we need to solve in security area, okay? But for developer, okay, and users, okay, we have to have the mindset that security is always a team sport, okay? It's really a team sport. Security folks, okay, cannot do anything by themselves. Okay? Developer, if they have mindset that they need to scan their code, they need to scan their images, okay? And for like operator of the Kubernetes, they have the mindset they need to monitor those Kubernetes node with XDR. They need to back up those environment with Kafka. It will be more better, okay? So, more or less, this is about Kubernetes, okay, which is not a big topic for today, okay. So these are the tools, okay, that you can play around with, okay. I have listed some steps in the GitHub, okay. You can test around, okay. But you can test with the kind cluster also. This is the Kubernetes and Docker, okay. You can test it on your laptop, okay. And Kubernetes is the thing, is the most well-known tools for scanning compliance for your Kubernetes. The KSPM thing, okay, it will let you know how well your Kubernetes is configured. Falcon, okay, it's an open source XDR solutions, okay. It is actually open source by CrowdStrike, okay. So if you want an enterprise support, okay, you need to buy CrowdStrike, okay. the Falco, okay, is one of the runtime tools that you have to put in at least your production Kubernetes environment, this is for sure, okay? So check off, okay, as mentioned, any YAML, any IC code, do check it with check off, okay? It will provide you the best practice scanning, how well your Docker file is, how well your cloud deployment Terraform file is, how well your Kubernetes YAML is, okay, check off, okay? And there's a lot of tools, okay? That's why I didn't expect you to copy this big slice directly, okay? Right, okay? Also vulnerability scanning tools, okay? It can scan container images, it can scan like dependencies files, okay? So all open source, okay? So free, okay? Don't worry about the cost of these, okay? Okay, so yeah, this is a table we need to be aware of. Okay? We need to be aware of how the differences between AI and cloud applications. AI, as mentioned, okay, the model healthness, the model security, okay, cannot be handled by dependency check. It cannot be handled by DAST. It cannot handled by image scanning. Okay. Most of the risks, okay, of an LLM model comes with backdoors, okay, comes with maybe specific execution in your models, okay, that can hardly be scanned by existing tools. Okay. So for the CNCF chart, okay, you may also find like there are some tools which is AI focused, okay. But honestly, I don't recommend you go for these, okay, as nothing is actually going into testing the model itself, okay. But when we are building a model, there's a lot of things we need to do: data preparation, feature extraction, training, okay. We are always talking about like model poisoning. Model poisoning can happen in data preparation. Model poisoning can come in feature extraction. Okay. Even when I'm training, I'm building a model, I can insert malicious code into a model. Okay. So how can we check that? Okay. That's a framework from another corporation. It's also open. It's also an open community called OWASP. OWASP. The long name that we forgot is the Open Web Application Security Project or practice something. Okay, so they have recommended how you should protect your web app. Okay, they also released something like this: how you should protect your LLM model. Do check on that. Okay, similar to what we have suggested. Okay, operational-wise, we need to adopt AI SecOps or AI Prism. Okay, this is a good name because Gartner actually suggests this name. Okay. It means that AI threat risk security management. Okay, it's a framework on how you should manage your AI applications. Okay. So tools-wise, okay, what we need. Okay, that's a lot. Okay. AI red teaming, this is more for security team. Anyone is from security? AI red teaming is for you, okay? So the other for the others, okay? So how we can do that, okay? And as mentioned, when we're training something, okay, this is about training, a very simplified, oversimplified training model that we can put on Kubernetes. You could do like the web scraping for getting data sets, okay, for training, right? When you're training, you will use Hugging Face, you are using Unslov, okay, to publish a highly efficient LLM model, okay. Security comes at this angle, okay. Fussy, okay. What is fussy? Okay. So as we don't know every KV value inside the LLM, we don't, okay. And it's not possible for us to extract all possibility that the model can reply with, okay. So some vendors, some open source community, they develop, okay, a fuzzy AI tool set which can help you to scan the model in your environment. Be it is a base model, be it you build it, be it is like a Hugging Face model. Okay, you can just scan it, fuzz it. Okay, width. Okay, the default come with problems. Okay, why we did that? Because I don't know. Okay, you know, prompt injection is always about like when we asking like a model, can you help me build an app? Okay. And even I'm a security expert, okay, I don't know, okay, how different kind of skills, okay, I can use to track the LLM, okay. Lately, there's a news saying that we can actually use a traditional Chinese, we call it Maniman, okay, to actually cheat, okay, the LLM model, right? Okay. So who can help you to do this kind of scanning? This model scanner can do it. Because this kind of model scanner, they can scan your model. If the model, when it's pulled up, actually is scanning your there's the username and password file, okay. It can also scan, okay, whether there's any vulnerabilities, okay, like what we mentioned just now. Okay. NVIDIA has a toolset called, I don't know how to pronounce that honestly, okay, but that is a red teaming tools, okay, red teaming tools that we can help to scan, okay, the model to ensure every LLM model you use, okay, it is safe. The other tools we call we use or I mentioned in my deck is Fuzzy AI, yeah, an optimized prime on the ship. Okay, this is actually from CyberArk, okay. The company is bought by PA. Okay, so CyberArk has published a Fuzzy AI fuzzer. Okay, so it is for scan. Okay, if it's jailbreakable, if your LLM model is jailbreakable. Okay, focusing on jailbreaking and backdoor scanning. Okay, so the stuff I mentioned just now is only applicable if you are building your own LLM model. Okay. If you're not, okay, likely you are just using like some kind of this framework on your Kubernetes application connecting to an LLM, and maybe it's connecting to a database for RAG, okay. So, yeah, okay, that brings me to some, I'm going to share a bit on what I put on the GitHub. Okay, so I have created two YAML. Okay, these two YAML different two stuff. One is an AI application. Okay, this AI application is simple. Okay, that's an web UI. Okay, open web UI connecting to an OLAMA which is running on the Kubernetes. Okay, and backend is Simon. Okay, because I can only run these stuff, these small models on my laptop. Okay, so I'm running this OLAMA. I'm running these web UI applications on my laptop right now. Okay, and which is running on top of a client cluster. Oh my god. Okay, so you can actually test on it. Okay, you can test on your laptop. Okay, this is not a powerful map, anyway. Yeah, but if you are using a small model like this, okay, it is totally runnable. Okay, say for example, okay, talk about AI, KX, and security. So you don't even need a GPU today, okay, to run this kind of sample app, okay. But when you are testing this, okay, do also deploy this port key, okay, application. What is port key? Port key is another AI gateway, okay. It is used for sitting in front of the AI model, maybe in front of the VLM, in front of the OLAMA, okay. You can test it. You can test like if, okay, there is some problems, or you can test like load balancing feature. You can test like how many tokens is going through. Okay, this is an AI gateway, open source. Okay, with a lot of features and a gateway you can play around. Okay, how you can get the visibility in front of this environment. Okay, so there's something I've prepared, and I've prepared also some LM chatbot you can play around with. You can play around with the source code scanning tools, SAS tools, and the model scanning. Okay, you can also test around right here. Okay, so and before wrapping up the thing, Olaf didn't just publish what the top 10 security they need to you need to be aware, but it also lists which vendors have solutions for that piece of areas that you need to be aware of. Okay, so what Wim has brought, what I'm focusing on, is the security AI right here. Okay, so why I find this solution interesting, because this is one of the very, very few products that is being mentioned across all the 10 recommendations that your AI platform has to be protected against. Okay, so that is why. Okay, back to my career when I come into Wim. I come to here because of this AI. Okay, so the same architecture. Okay, what makes it more safe? Okay, before your application port going into the OLAM or LLM, sit a AI gateway like LLM, like the port key 4 doing the model guardrail. When you are running an LLM model or using it, do the model scanning, do the fuzzy test, do the AI red teaming regularly. Okay? It's not just before it, okay? Because you don't know how the LLM model will drift. Okay? So you need to do this kind of testing regularly. Okay? For the data you are putting in, injecting into your AI model, do have a DSPM solution for scanning out what kind of data you are putting actually into the LLM, and what kind of data that is reachable from the AI agent. Okay? This is to avoid the incident happened to Pocket OS that we mentioned just now. Okay? Yeah, so that's everything. Okay, seems I've overrun. But that's everything I want to talk about. And if there's any question, let me know. Yeah. And if there's any question about security, let me know also. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I want to continue the presentation first, and then we can finish all the presentation first, and then we go for
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pass the mic to Simon. Okay. Thank you so much.
Alright, before I'm going to start my presentations, I would like to ask, hey, anyone want to get the CKA examination or certifications?
Yes.
Yeah. If no one, I can leave now. Alright, very good. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Simon Song. I come from Canfield. And today I would like to share a lot of things to you, and it's all about the CKA or Kubernetes examinations. Okay, such as a requirement and the format, examination format. So I have 26 years of experience in IT industry. So in these 26 years, I take a bunch of the different vendor qualifications to teach a bunch of the training. Okay? But most important thing is experience, hands-on experience. You know? So that's why, because I'm not just talk a PowerPoint during my training. Okay, I'm willing to share my experience for my projects. So some of the projects about AI nowadays, you know. So that's why the gold one server is DGX H100 GPU card inside there. And my job role is solution architect to design all the things in the support projects. Okay, it's one of the bigger, larger data center, AI data center in the Hong Kong island only. Okay, it's not in the world, you know. Okay, so one of the small box I just purchased recently is a DGX box. DGX box, do you know that? DGX box is to just make your supercomputer on your hand, all right, on your desk, all right. So I built a lot of the service inside there and do my lab before I take the exam. So that's why I can use this box to practice my Kubernetes skills. Okay, but just one box is not enough, you know. Okay, but we can use it in the K3S, you know, K3S. K3S is not KAS, right? K3S is run your Kubernetes in a box, all right? So of course, you can connect the external hardware device to enhance the functionality of the Kubernetes environment, okay? So let's move to the topic today, achieving CKA certifications. So it's the most challenging examination today because it is not a traditional examination because it is not just multiple choice, all right? It is all about the lab-based exam, okay? 100% performance-based. So you have to use your skills or your knowledge or your muscle memory. Do you know what is muscle memory? It's a practice, keep it practice, and practice, and become to when you see some of the topics of the questions, and then you can drive your hand to type in the commands automatically. All right. So it is the weather neutral bedrock. It is some of the most important examination in the IT industry, okay? Because it is represents you can do some of the hands-on troubleshooting as long as you do your job or your project. All right. So this examination is just cost United States $445 United States dollars. So, but you have to get the biweekly fee because it is two full exam attempts. Okay, if this first try you got fail, okay, but you still have another chance to take the exam again. For this examination, I taken 3 times. Do you know why? It's not fail because of the renew, alright? Because nowadays this certificate is valid for 2 years, just 2 years. Okay, that means you have to keep your exam, your certificate update every 2 years. Okay, but for the first generations CK examination, the valid date should be 3 years. Okay, but recently 2 years only. All right, but these 2, as long as you get this examination or certificate, you can earn a lot of money than before. I'm pretty sure. Okay, because for me, after I get this certificate, especially for the instructor cert, okay, I earn a lot more money than before, and I can retire 10 years earlier. But originally, my retire day should be 80. 80 minus 10 years, 70. I can retire. All right. Okay. So, 2-killer.sh simulator. Okay, is one important environment for you to familiar the examination environment because of these hands-on examinations. So you have to one screen to just similar to Ubuntu, okay? Because for the you have to log into Ubuntu first, and then open the several windows during your exam. Okay, why? Because one window should be display the questions, all right? And you have to open your terminal to type in commands, all right? But during the exam, it is open book exam, you know. 1, 2. Okay. It's allow open book resources. It doesn't mean you can take the physical book inside into the examination center. That means you can open one browser and only can go into the Kubernetes.io /documentation to search or to find out your YAML files. Okay, do you know YAML files? It's just all about the format. So don't try to remember the format or contents of the YAML files because all information can search within the browser. Okay, but remember that don't try to go outside or another website because you will got failed immediately. Alright? You can just go to one official Kubernetes documentation website during examinations, alright? So the score, the questions should be 15 to 20 performance questions. So for the passing score is 66. Okay, it's not very tough, right? It's a reasonable exam, reasonable passing score, right? After you have done all the exam, you have to get the result after 48 years. 48 years, hours. Hours, right? So, the current versions, Kubernetes versions, is 1.34, 1.34, because these examinations could be updated frequently. Okay, so before you take the exam, you must familiar or check it out the currently exam versions. Okay, so let's take a look for the 5 pillars for the examinations. So for the 5 topics or performance type distributions, 5 topics such as troubleshoot, cluster architecture, service and networking, and then workload and scheduling. The last but not least is storage. Okay. Do you know which topics is most challenging during your examinations? Guessing.
Troubleshooting.
Exactly. It's a troubleshooting. It always spend a lot of time to shoot some case. Is because I have to type a lot of the commands to get what is the root cause for the problems. Okay, so it's really hands-on. And then the second thing, the most challenging should be the networking, okay? Because of you have to familiar all the traffic flow from the internet to the, and then go into the ingress controllers, and then the next should be the IP table something, and then connect to your services. The last thing should be your ports, okay? So let's take a closer look on the troubleshooting. Okay, this one of the real tasks is to fix the crashed Kube API server by identifying problems by yourself, all right? And within 2 hours, because so this examination is so stressed, okay? Because 2 hours is, I think it's not enough for me, okay? Even though I'm very experienced for that, okay? So the other topics is architecture configurations. Let me talk one more things about the troubleshooting. Okay, I remember one of the exam questions is talk about the how to troubleshoot some of the user cannot go or open your website. All right, so you have to try your best to show the website again. All right, so that's why you have to a clear mindset or concept to you can imagine that you become a hacker, or come inside to the internet. Okay, so what is the next gateway or something port? All right. So the other topics, the important topics is architecture and configurations, such as, for example, the real task should be install the CLI, Docker, Real, dpkg. So that means you must also familiar the Linux commands. So that's why if you don't familiar the Linux, you have to study first. Alright? And the second step should be Docker again. Okay, you have to learn about how to package your programs into the images first. And then sometimes in your application want to move to the enterprise levels, right? Kubernetes comes, all right? Because of we have to deploy several nodes, master node and worker node, okay, to make sure your application will not be die easily, all right? So the next topics, service and networking is the second more challenging topics because of the gateway. Okay, because of the gateway divides into 3 generations. The first generation is just the ingress controller. Okay, it is just first generations. The second generations should be HTTP proxy. Okay, but the latest technology for the ingress nowadays is API gateway. Not API gateway, it's a gateway API, alright? Gateway API is come with these several components to work together, such as gateway class name, gateway class name HV route, and gateway objects. Okay, so just similar to AWS service, create several objects and attach to the main objects. All right. So, for example, you can create the gateway first and attach the gateway class inside the gateway. All right. The next step, create an HV route to redirect all or specific traffic from the outside world to your services. We call it the backend service, okay, for the corresponding TCP port or your UDP port, So the next is a workload. The next topics for examination is workload scheduling. Try to inject some of the service inside your port in order to get the log files, and then the sidecar, we call it ingest streaming sidecar. It is very important because some of the developers want to get back their log to improve or debug to their applications. Okay. So the last but not least is storage. You must familiar how to, because the pod is the eternal objects. Okay, that means it is not like the virtual machines. Virtual machine, we have to keep a long life running, you know. Okay, but the pod, it is you can drop it wherever you want. All right. So, how to keep our data permanently in our storage? So that's why the PV, persistent volume, comes out, because all of your configurations, your website or your database information can stay inside the PV, persistent volume. Okay, but for the persistent volume, you have to you have been able to set up your own storage in your home lab. All right. For me, I set up a workshop. It's one of the object storage. Then when you want to take these examinations for CKA, you must able to build your own storage to test how to create a storage class, PVC and PV. Because for the PVC, you just claim your storage space, and then you may create a storage class first because of you want to request your storage automatically by using the YAML files. Right? So we have one of the terms is call on demand, all right, for your storage. Okay, just use your YAML files to define your storage to send your request to the storage class first, and then the PV and PVC will automatically generate it. All right. So the next, let me rephrase it. You have to create a PVC first. And then the PVC will call the storage class to automatically provision your PV. Okay? All right. Let's move to the CMS to exam with reliability. All right. So because for this exam, we'll include the topics or the sections about the HPA. Do you know what is HPA? Exactly. Okay. Well done. This is a horizontal port autoscaler. Some of the auto detections of when your loading is increased for your server threshold, you can define that manually. So the port will be created automatically. All right. Of course, you can define the minimum and maximum port. It could be automatically generated. All right. So these examinations also will ask you how to install the Calico. Okay, it is some of the overlay technology package, come from the open source project. So it can let your ports on the different physical server can be communicate each others. All right, just like the VM. If you have the two VM located on the two physical server, we can use the VLAN to let it be able to communicate each other, right? But for the Kubernetes, we have to use the overlay technology, just like the VXLAN, all right? So that's why it is the exam will tell you to try to install your overlay driver or network components into your acceleration environment. But remember that each question you have to log in the correct Kubernetes cluster, because for this exam we have to 6 Kubernetes cluster. You have to switch the correct cluster before you do the corrections. Okay? So sometimes you have to log into a different namespace. You have to aware all of these details for each questions. But try to don't memorize all the YAML files, okay? It's impossible, you know, okay? Because for the YAML files, the most complicated thing should be an indentation, okay? So, that's why how can we easily to find out the correct YAML files format? How? Just log into the official website documentations and then try it out, search to practice your searching skills. Okay, even though you have to remember the keywords. Hey, I would like to get the HKCDA comments or format. Just log into the official website documentation button and search some of the keywords. Should be HKCDA, installation, something like that. All right. So copy and paste out. Okay. Try to use the cat commands, cat and then UF, to easy to copy and paste for your bunch of the YAML files and from your work notepads. Okay. Because for the examinations, notepad is your good friend. Because when you search your corresponding YAML files, you have to paste it into your notepad first, and use the cat commands to consist all your formats and paste into your terminal finally. Okay, so after you paste your commands into the terminal, it didn't work, we can easily to go back to the notepad to modify some things. For example, replica equal to 2 or 3 or 4, and then paste again. Alright? It is some of the important skills during your tech exam. So, the most important thing should be your execution. Okay, what does execution means? Just take out your credit card and then schedule your exam. Okay. So for me, when I didn't go to the first class for some new subject for me, okay, I will schedule the exam first because it's just like homework. Okay. So if you have this schedule in your mindset, you can do the planning for your life. Okay? If you didn't pay your money to your scheduled exam, tomorrow has the tomorrow. Okay?
But you can reschedule.
Yeah, no problem. Schedule is no problem, but it cannot be fun, you know? Okay? But in your mind, you have to one thing need to be complete, you know? So try to schedule an exam first, pay your money first to force yourself to take the exam, okay? So after you pay this, you have to one of the simulations one of the simulator about the for your practice. But this simulator you just got this 36 hours to access. Okay. Originally, you should pay extra money, but it is already included into your examination fee. Okay. So that's why you have to log in the killer.sh first. Actually, this hyperlink will include your welcome email. Okay, for your examination schedule email. Alright, just click it, and then when you click the start button, it will count down for the 36 hours. Okay, so for the 36 hours, you should include it in your 8 hours lead time. Okay, just try to split 2 days, and for example, you can use the 20 hours for first day, and after 8 hours lead time, you still have the 8 hours. Okay. So 60 questions per session. So it is some very skillful, and this exam will test your muscle memory, okay, for every commands. And then some of the commands need to be not easy to generate the YAML files. Okay. For example, for the number one, kube control create. Okay. Create what? What can you create? Because it is a dry run, the eventually result should be port.yamls. Okay, it is a template. It's one of the methods to generate a template. All right, so you don't have to. Please don't try to remember all the YAML files contents. Okay, we have several ways to turn it out automatically. Okay, so skip and return, because during the examination you can flag and skip and do it later. Alright? So try to, when the question appears, you have to know the exact command or document page. Can you familiar the questions? Can you do you have the confidence to do these questions? If yes, do it. If not, just think about 2 minutes max. Just 2 minutes and skip it. Alright? Try to let more complete all the question on time. Okay. So it is unlike the standard test, it is truly validate both theoretical understanding and hands-on skills. So that's why I would like to all of you can get the CKS certificate successfully, and you may heard about that. We have several vendors such as AWS, VMware. Recently, I took the VKS exam. Okay, it's just similar to the Kubernetes on VMware, or AWS got the similar things, Okay, but I think most of the vendors just got to provide the multiple choice exam, okay, or just focus their platform how to use the Kubernetes easily, okay. But if you really want to gain more experience for troubleshooting, okay, especially tier 3 troubleshoot skills, the CKA is a worth to take the exam to prove your skills, hands-on skills. Okay. So the last word, execute. Do it now. Credit card. Okay. Schedule an exam. But before, after you pay for the scheduled exam, you would like to learn more about these skills, you can go to the Canvas.com. Okay, this company I worked for 20 years. Okay, just click the education service and then DevOps and Kubernetes, and you can get all the hints for the exam. Okay, or all the knowledge, and they assume you will start from scratch. Okay, so it is not only the Kubernetes administrations for 5-day trainings, but also I have to develop a another training about the DevOps. Okay, you cannot see the similar things in the world because it is my self-developed trainings based on my skills. Okay, because every time when I finish my projects, I will come up all the skills or experience into my handout. Okay, to tell all of my students when, how to use some of the commands or skills. Alright. So for some of the security, some of the topics about the how to package your programs or application into the image. Okay, because for the Kubernetes, you must have the image, or your application must pack into the image first. Okay, so if you have interest on any questions, just not credit cards. Just open your WhatsApp and scan my WhatsApp. Okay, can you see my QR code? Okay, just scan or take a photo first. Okay, you can contact me directly. Okay. Hopefully you won't send message to me in midnight. Okay. So let's finish my presentation. And do you have any questions? Very happy, right? Do you have any questions?
How do you see, because now all DevOps can be done by AI? No, I'm not sure, but
all DevOps
skyrocket. How do you compare? Do humans really need the skills to?
If you are using AI to generate some things, and I use the same AI to generate the same things, okay, but I have the certificates. Okay? So, okay.
They can hire me with 10K. They cannot hire you with 10K. How would you choose?
How can I? I will tell them I go for the certificate first. Okay. So for me, I will encourage every people to gain the professional certificate first. And when you use the AI, it can help you to earn more money. Alright? And you can earn more trust by some project or people. Alright? So it is all my sharing today. Thank you.